Alrighty, so I have another question for y'all, which is, what was your biggest challenge when learning UX and UI design? Like, what was that one thing that had you like questioning, like, is this for me kind of thing?
Oh, that's a good one. Um, I didn't know how rigid and organized everything is. Again, being an art teacher, I loved making things look pretty. And I didn't understand that there was research and guidelines, right? Like building on a grid or knowing pixel measurements or decimals. And when you get to the nitty gritty, making sure everything is as pixel perfect as possible, regardless if it's like pretty or not. And then um, being able to present a design and say, more than this looks cute, which was, poor pre-foundations designer Marin was at. And definitely the research for me as well, being able to interview people with confidence and record notes about those interviews in an articulate way. That took me a while to understand. So I would say the engineering, like developing side, where everything has to be like measured perfectly, grid, style guide,
Mm.
like it's a lot more rigid than it looks. And
Yeah.
yeah, it just looks so pretty and effortless on a screen. And then I would say the research. And so having the people ability to talk to someone about your designs.
Right, right. Yeah. So I would say some of the things that were really difficult for me in my UX design journey. The first thing is getting started. Even like before Avocademy, I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to do. I remember I was like drafting a user flow in the corner of my sketchbook and showing it to an ADP list mentor. They were just like, "Oh, that's cute." Like it was just awful. But then like going through the user experience foundation courses of Avocademy, I will have to follow up with Marin and say like the rigidity of everything and specifically UI for me and
Yeah.
making sure all the pixels line up, everything's 8 pixels apart, especially when you get into like the high fidelity designs. Yeah, and just making sure you
Hmm.
have good design knowledge and good design principles and like does this button pass contrast and like account
Hmm.
for everything on the on your product and your experience of the product. Like what does this button take you to if a user clicks on it? Can you wireframe that out? Can you put that into a prototype? I'd say that's the really hard part is the UI for me.